First ride, 0 miles on my brand new Suzuki M109R. Stay tuned. Guys, if you're looking for a low cost, super sturdy wheel chock to keep your pride and joy upright while you're trailering, or even if it's in your garage, stay tuned. What's happening, fam? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's doing well. So from the intro you can see I just got my beautiful bike that I have been doing a lot of research on. Now, for most of you guys who don't know, I've been riding for a long time. I was taught to ride since I was like about 8 years old, and the crazy part was the person who taught me was a friend of my dad's. When my dad wasn't around, like when he had to go like offshore to work and stuff like that for weeks or however long, one of his friends who used to look out for us, he taught me how to ride. And I didn't think, I mean, it would even really evolve into anything, but I always had a love for motorcycles. And I would say back in, I'll actually put up some pictures. Back in 2000, let me see, I think it's like 2008 or 9, I had two bikes, and I think one was a Yamaha 600 and one was a special edition ZX14. And I remember that I had about 1,000 miles on that ZX14, and I was supposed to use it that day, and I got into a really bad accident coming home. And that day I would have taken the same route with the bike, same time, and I would have probably been dead. And that really shook me up, talking about like broken shoulder, broken wrist. I had a catheter in for a couple months. It was pretty bad, especially, and this girl was on her cell phone, and she blew a red light. So that T-bone was pretty bad. And if many of you don't know, an airbag, when that thing hits you, that shit is no joke. That shit is no joke. Matter of fact, the rescue services on the scene thought I was actually dead, and thank God I wasn't. But I mean, we live and we learn. And from that time on, once I got better, I literally gave up. I gave up my bikes. Literally just went, traded them in, and that was it. And here comes my brother. Showed up at my house. I hear this rumbling outside. Dude shows up with a freaking Harley. And I'm like, man. He shows up and he goes, "You want to take it for a spin?" I just jumped on that freaking bike and took that shit around the block, singing like it was just yesterday. And you wouldn't believe it, I haven't ridden in like 15 years. Haven't touched a bike, haven't looked at one, nothing, because it got really dangerous out here. And I kind of blame him for this shit, but I literally started doing my research, and let me tell you, man, I got my hand, and let me tell you, I got a hell of a deal. Guys, I'm not lying. I'm all the way out in Long Island, and I actually got this bike in Jersey, and I got it from a place called Motorcycle Mall. I'm actually wearing one of their shirts today. Motorcycle Mall in Belleville, New Jersey. Those guys have a gigantic showroom, and let me tell you, man, they gave me a freaking hell of a deal. Let me show you. This is like one of the first hot days we've been having. 2025 M109R. This thing is freaking nasty. Guys, forgive the trailer. I'll talk more about that in a second. It had 0 miles on it first time I rode it. I think it has like maybe 11 or 12 now. But this bike, I did a lot of research on it. Super, super clean. I actually almost picked up a Boss Edition. The Boss Edition, they stopped making it in 2023. For those of you who don't know or think I should have gotten one, the Boss Edition is pretty much just like a M109R with like the motor and the pipes and stuff blacked out. There's really no difference. And there's different types of color schemes, things like that. But they stopped making them for God knows, you know, what reason. But anyway, the reason why I like the M109R, this is not a beginner level bike. And to tell you the truth, value, I've done tons of research on this bike, and for the value and for what you're getting, you can't beat it. You know what I mean? When I went to Motorcycle Mall, you're looking at Harleys, things like that, and even Harleys with, you know, a lot of mileage on it, they're asking for what I bought this bike for. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you right now, hit up Sean at Motorcycle Mall or Marshall. Those guys are really good, and you know, I mean, they could have tried to screw me over, and let me tell you, they worked with me, and I got a really good deal. Like, I'm talking about, I can't even explain to you. I got a really good deal. Even my brother was like, wow. Felt fantastic, especially to own this bike. But anyway, guys, as I was telling you before, you know, people are gonna be like, oh, Harley this, Harley that. There's a lot of pro Harley guys out there. I'm not gonna lie, and Harley, you know, they make good bikes. But there's so many other bikes out there that people sleep on, especially this one. As I said before, this is not a beginner level bike. You gotta be like an at least intermediate to advanced rider, because this bike doesn't have ABS, things like that. It's like, it's a bike that depends solely on the rider's skill. This bike weighs, I think, 750 pounds or somewhere around there. It's a very, very, very heavy bike. So by no means, you know, go out riding this shit with flip-flops or Crocs and shit like that, or some of you guys do, or whatever the case might be. It's a very, very heavy bike. So you definitely, and then with, you know, a 200-pound guy sitting on it, now you're close to 1,000 pounds. So by all means, you know, I mean, this is not an entry-level bike whatsoever. But for what you're getting, guys, 109, that's why it says M109R. It's pretty much like a muscle cruiser, so to speak. The back tail, it looks like the freaking Hayabusa. And just turn on this light so you guys can see a little bit. Back tail looks like the Hayabusa. And, you know, 109 cubic inches or 1783 cc 54-degree V-twin. This thing, 128 horsepower with 118 pound-feet of torque. And guys, let me tell you, in every gear you hit that thing, it's going. I'm telling you right now, this shit will take your arms off when you yank on that throttle. And not really yank. I'm talking about you're getting serious torque at 3,200 RPM. This thing is badass. This bike is freaking nasty. Telling you right now, freaking nasty. And then it has a 240 millimeter back tire. This shit is wild. It's a wild bike. It's a wild bike. You know what I mean? But anyway, the reason why I wanted to make this video was my daughter bought me something for Father's Day, something I was actually doing some research on, and something that I needed when I went to pick this bike up. And it's a good thing that I have this E-Track system, otherwise I would have freaking messed everything up, because when you're transporting the bike, you want to actually, you know, strap the bike upright. You know what I mean? That's the one thing. I never transported a bike before. This is normally, in this trailer, is normally for my race car or show car. So that's the thing. And I learned a lot that day, and it's a good thing I have my E-Track system. And as I said, guys, sorry for the mess. This is all like car show stuff. But as I said before, it's a good thing that I had all these straps and stuff like that, because let me tell you, man, I checked like at least 4 times on the way home getting this bike, and let me tell you, that shit did not move. But this, what I just unboxed, as you saw in the time lapse, it's a wheel chock system, and it can support, you know, on Amazon it says about 1,800. The manual says 1,600, but you know what I mean. It's a wheel chock system that stands the bike upright, and you could strap it down if you're in a trailer, or like, well, this is an enclosed 20-foot trailer, you could, or a smaller trailer, or what have you. If you're leaving it in the garage, trying to work on it or whatever, it'll strap it down upright. So I just wanted to just do that quick unboxing and mount it, and let's see how it works. But it's a really nice, I have some of the pieces right here. You get a couple of the pieces. These pieces where the wheel and stuff go, and you have a little bag of hardware right here. We have the instructions, like the diagram for it. I'll put that up on the side. But this is a nice, it's a nice wheel chock system from a company called Boss. You can get this from Amazon. I'll actually link this in the description so at least you could see it. You could chock anywhere like from like 2 3/4 to 5-inch tires in there comfortably. Okay, and obviously this bike, as I said, it's about 750 something pounds. So, you know, if the capacity of this 1,600 or 1,800 pounds, you know, not a big deal. It can hold it with ease. All right, so let me do this real quick. And guys, this setup should not take more than, I would say, about 10 minutes. It's a really easy wheel chock system to set up. So let's get this on the road. All right, guys, just wanted to show you something here real quick. So you got 3 bolts, okay? 1, 2, 3, 3 locking nuts, okay? You got 4 pins, 2 rods, and these 2 right here screw underneath this right here as like a non-slip type device. Now, out of the 3 bolts you're seeing right here, okay? 2 of them are the same length. 1 of them is slightly longer. The slightly longer one goes towards the middle. Okay? So these 2 mate up. It mates this piece and this piece right here. This part right here, this is the stopper or the stand right here. This goes in the center, okay? And mates up to this and this with the longer bolt with the locking nut. Okay? Very simple. This is as simple as you can get, guys. It's not like really a hard thing to do, okay? And then this, and then obviously this rod goes in here, goes to the other side. Yeah, sometimes with the surfaces and stuff, before you tighten this stuff down, make sure you run this through first. I'm gonna have to slightly loosen it in order to run it through, because sometimes when you tighten things down, things can shift and move ever so slightly and cause it not to fit. Not a big deal. All right, so I just slightly loosened it up right here, ran the rod through, slid one of the pins in, slide another pin in right here. Real simple. Stuff is not that hard, guys, not that hard. Then I'm gonna re-tighten that, tighten it up. Okay, they didn't give any torque specs or anything. Oh guys, these it's a 17 millimeter for these bolts, just as a heads up. And the 2 last things I gotta do is this. Put this, run this bolt through it. Now I gotta figure out, I'm gonna have to keep test fitting this. I gotta figure out where to put this. So I'm gonna start off with this 4th hole over here first. Okay, 4th from the end, and see if once the wheel goes in there, if it'll be balanced properly. All right. Okay, so I just rolled it up. Guys, it takes a little bit of strength. If you have like a 600 or like a sport bike, any sport bike will probably be a lot easier than one of these. If your bike is heavy, it's gonna take a little bit of strength to get this up. Guys, do not, as per the instructions, don't sit in the seat. Also, do not drive this up onto the CHOCK with the motor on it. But as you can see here, the bike is literally standing, you know, I mean, it's upright on its own, but I have to put that that pin back a little bit. That pin needs to come back. And the cool thing is, this thing is tall enough, but it's not hitting my fairing or anything like that. So let me bring the bike back down and move it back. All right, guys, so it was pretty much from the end, it was the 6th hole. Okay, so that's where you actually have a piece of the tire touching the ground, the chocks holding it properly or cradling it. That's the cradle right there, and obviously that pillar holding it. Guys, also the cradle, the short piece is on the inside, the longer piece towards the back of the tire or towards the back of the device. Now the bike is standing on its own, the stand is up and everything like that. Okay, I shook it a little bit. It's not like, obviously it's not freaking incredibly you know, I mean, it's super sturdy, but obviously I won't trailer it without obviously strapping it down. If you wanted to park this in your garage like this, it can do it, like say if you're working on it or something like that. Also, what I would recommend, this takes a considerable amount of force, especially to take it down. If somebody can help you, that'll be fantastic. If it's just you by yourself, what I would recommend, there's accessory holes like on the corners, like all the way over here to the end right here. I would bolt that shit down. Bolt that shit down. But obviously this trailer is not used solely for my bike. Okay? So what I would do is, if I had to transport this bike, I can lean it against that stop right there that I have on the wood. Okay? And what I did was I strapped the bottom of it down where, so like say from pulling the bike off, the strap is gonna pull against it and, you know, release it. But forget the strap for now. If you, let's say you bolted this down, let's say if you put like 2 pilot holes over there where you can put in like a bolt or something like that, like whenever you need to, that would be perfect, where the stand could be butt up against my CHOCK, right, that stopper, this stopper right here. Okay, and then the bolts, and I could just pull the bike off or push it on whenever. And then you can use these rings right here as part of your strapping mechanism to strap to the bike, or if you have an E-track system or whatever, I can just run the straps like how I did it. I'll actually put up a little video how I did it. You'll see it, how I did it bringing this bike back from Jersey, when I strapped it up where pretty much I ran the strap right behind here, not the handlebar, right behind this triple tree right here, and obviously underneath the wires, so I'm not messing with any wires or anything like that. E-track, it's going to be very hard for E-track to fit around the fairing over here, so you're gonna have to get like thin straps can really can do some justice for this. Thin straps can definitely do some justice. But what I would recommend, if you have a trailer just solely for carrying your bikes or whatever, bolt this bad boy down and just strap it down, man. It's like a really good all-in-one system. Like, look, you know what I mean? The bike is pretty much standing on its own. Obviously, you just got to strap it down, you know what I mean, to maintain stability, and also so that the actual CHOCK won't go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? But that's pretty much it, guys. Definitely like, subscribe, comment. I'm sweating like crazy, obviously, because inside this trailer is freaking hot, even though I got the door and the windows open. It's freaking hot in here. I'm gonna link this stuff in the description, and there's gonna be more videos to come with this freaking beautiful machine. So take it easy.